we're going to be announcing her, just because she will also be getting inducted. So Gianna's first. We have the certificate. Next, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering anyone's names. I'm going to try my best. Marie Ramu.
It's Esther.
Oh, Esther. Sorry.
You should introduce yourself and say where you're from.
Hello, my name is Esther. I am a senior communication major with my marketing minor and also WGSS. I am from Bridgeport, Connecticut, but I am originally from Haiti. I chose the WGSS minor because since high school, I've always been passionate about women's rights and everything around it, because I was a Black woman and also an immigrant woman from a family of women, so I really cared about that. And when I came to Fairfield, my first class that I took for women's studies was my race and ethnicity with Peggy Delfino. She was amazing. She taught me so much about the subject. Then I decided that I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, that's too much, I'm not doing that. And my sophomore year, second semester, I needed something for the core requirement. And it turns out she was offering another class. So I took her, and then through that, I realized, oh my God, like that was like so bad, and not really bad, but like more of like, I was like too scared to learn more and actually be part of the action when I should have not been. And I learned so much. And last semester, actually, I got an email from you saying that you have enough credits, you have taken a lot of classes. Do you want to make it a minor? And I was like, yes, I'd love to make it a minor. And I learned so much more this semester about the program, how important it is, and I'm so excited to apply it in my everyday life, in my professional career.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Kelly Brown.
Hi, my name is Kelly Brown. I am a sociology major and a women's and sexuality studies minor. I chose this minor after an email from Professor Kelly. I hadn't realized through my deep journey that I had taken so many courses related to women, gender, and sexuality studies, and it all kind of fell into place from there. So I want to thank Professor Kelly. I want to thank Professor Rodrigues, Professor Hohl, and all my other professors that I've taken in women and gender studies. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have for juniors, Caitlin Malgar.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Malgar. Thank you all for coming. I'm a junior with a women, gender, and sexuality studies major with a couple of minors in educational studies, American studies, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've been passionate about women's rights for as long as I can remember. I did my senior thesis project in high school on women's rights to abortion, and definitely became more of a feminist after my sexual assault my sophomore year of high school. And since then, I've just been a passionate advocate for women's rights.
Okay, next is Abigail Ressler.
From Woodbridge, Connecticut, and I'm a communications major with a minor in WGSS. I chose WGSS as my minor because it offered me a diverse perspective that complements my communications major, and this field has deepened my understanding of identity, power, and social structures, which were essential when navigating and shaping inclusive messaging in any professional setting. I've gained the tools necessary to better understand and advocate for equity, making me a more empathetic and effective communicator in my future career.
And up next, who we've already heard from, is Catherine Gaskin. I missed one? Oh, so sorry. Up next is Marley Ackley. I'm getting down myself, so sorry.
Hi, my name is Marley Ackley. I'm a public health major with a minor in women, gender, and sexuality studies. I originally was interested in taking the Intro to the Hebrew Bible, and that explores a lot of themes about feminism and women in the Bible, and I just took an interest from there, and it kind of just flowed from there. I took feminist gender and queer theory with Karen Langton, and ever since then I've just been very passionate and been on that track.
Okay, up now is Catherine Griffin.
Hi again. It's not like you haven't heard from me. You know why I chose this, but I first started becoming a feminist, back in 7th grade. I found the 2014 He for She launch speech by Emma Watson. And in it, she says, "If not me, who? If not now, when?" And that always stuck with me. I love that speech. I've done it at speech competitions a couple different times. Something about it just always stuck with me. And the ideas that she talks about in that people across the world don't have the rights that they should have really stuck with me. And so I started looking more into it and decided, yeah, there's no doubt about it, I'm definitely a feminist. And here we are today, the rest is history, as they say. I am a junior. I am a double major in women, gender, sexuality studies, and theater, and I'm a minor in communication studies. And I actually just got back from study abroad in London, which I absolutely loved and opened my world in so many ways. And I'm from North Andover, Massachusetts. Okay, next we have Anna Hall.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I am a sociology major, but I have minors in obviously WGSS, math, educational studies, and also American studies. So I came to WGSS, like Catherine actually, through one of Dr. Kelly's Shakespeare classes. So again, like Catherine, I found myself in a lot of that class talking about women, and all my papers kind of seemed to center on it. Particularly, I ended up doing one of a close examination between Hamlet and Antony and Cleopatra, which I looked at patriarchal ideals and how they shape and affect the stories of both female characters, but in different ways. But within both ways, we found that neither of the characters could win. While on one hand, we had a very pure white character where they emphasized piety, but on the other hand, there was a very racialized and sexually open female character. So I will never forget, on the end of that paper, I got it back from Dr. Kelly, and she recommended that she hoped I would consider a WGSS minor. So at that point, already having 3 other minors, I was kind of like, who needs one more, right? But I looked into it, and with the sociology major, there is a lot of overlap, so I saw that I'd already taken a lot of the classes and decided to minor in it. And since I loved being part of the program and have taken lots of other classes in it, and yeah, it's a great program to be part of, so thank you.
Next up, we have Elizabeth Norman.
Hi. So I'm Ellie. I'm a nursing major with a WGSS minor, and I'm from Needham, Massachusetts. When asked to sort of think about my favorite WGSS course here, I just think of all of my WGSS as my favorite classes that I've taken at Fairfield. But the one that stands out the most to me is Mothering in the Americas, taught by Dr. Jenna Rodrigues, which Catherine and I took together. At the time, I believe Dr. L was still in the process of getting it approved for WGSS credit, and when she shared with the course that it would officially count, it inspired me to look further into WGSS. I love the course for 2 main reasons. First, it created a safe and engaging space to explore critical issues that I care deeply about with both passionate peers and an incredibly knowledgeable professor. Second, it emphasized how vital WGSS is in healthcare, especially through discussions about racial inequities in maternity care, non-binary parenthood, and reproductive human rights violations.
Without this class, I may have never pursued WGSS further, but I'm so grateful that I did. Every course since then has pushed me to think more deeply about these issues, making me not only a more thoughtful advocate, but a better future healthcare provider. So thank you so much for having me today.
Next, we have Daniel McElroy, who's not here, but I have a little blurb to say about him. His first name is Danny. His majors and minors include sports media and journalism majors with a WGSS minor. His hometown is Princeton Junction, New Jersey, and his favorite WGSS class is Edith Wharton with Dr. Orlando this past semester. The next two people also are not here, but that's totally fine. I have blurbs to read about them as well. So Emma Trumner is not here, but she says, "Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I'm a current junior and I'm from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, which is right outside the capital of Harrisburg. I'm a politics, and sociology double major, and a WGSS business law and ethics, and peace and justice studies minor. I'm also on the pre-law track. I chose the WGSS minor because I want to concentrate my focus on women crimes, like insider trading and high-level fraud, and I found it to be the perfect addition to target the niche field I want to study. I want to thank all of the Fairfield faculty for helping me get where I am today." Then we have Elizabeth Morin. She says, "Hi, I'm Liz, and I'm a digital journalism and English double major with a minor in WGSS. A feminist role model for me is Amala Clooney. Despite being married to a celebrity, she utilizes her platform to speak about human rights issues that women face in other countries, while tackling issues like gender-based violence, discrimination, and more. She's a huge inspiration for me to pursue my future career in investigating crimes against women in the Middle East." Next we have Sage Stefanski, our work president.
Hello. When I think of my favorite class I've taken, I think all of them I love. I'm currently in a Taylor Swift class with Rebecca, and that one is absolutely amazing. Every Wednesday we all get together and we get to discuss Taylor Swift lyrics, which is something I do all the time anyway, so it's amazing to have a class about it. And I'm also in a feminist genderqueer reading of the Hebrew Bible right now, and I remember Dr. Kelly had originally recommended it for me, and I was a little hesitant to take it at first because I didn't know much about religion, and I hadn't taken many religious classes. And this class ended up being one of my favorite I've ever taken. I remember the final project, we just turned it in, and we were comparing a verse from the Hebrew Bible to the Handmaid's Tale, and comparing that to the overturning of Roe v. Wade and human trafficking, specifically talking about exploitation of women's bodies. So that was definitely an amazing class, and I loved every second of it.
And last but not least, Rebecca Mattei-Brown, our secretary.
So hi everyone. Actually, unlike Catherine, coming to Fairfield, I always knew I wanted to minor in women's gender and sexuality studies. But my major is behavioral neuroscience, and I have minors in women's gender and sexuality studies and health studies, and I'm on the pre-health track. But for me, one of my biggest role models in my life is my mom, actually. She went to Fairfield, she graduated in '96, and she was an English major, and while she didn't completely finish a women's gender and sexuality studies minor, she took many classes in the area. And I feel like I've just always looked up to her as a strong female role model in my life through so many different things, but one of the most impactful things I would think is how she chose to keep her maiden name and hyphenate our last name. So I'm so proud to have my own last name because it's hyphenated from my parents. But yeah, I've looked up to her in so much in my life. And as Sage was mentioning, one of my favorite classes I've taken also is Taylor Swift and Literary Culture with Dr. Orlando. Not just because I love Taylor Swift and like Sage, I'm also quoting her all the time, but I feel like her music just touches on so many different areas and so many ways that society like molds women's lives. So I feel like it's so interdisciplinary to talk about her music. And I've also loved the literature connection. Especially recently, we've been reading Jane Eyre, and we did a whole week of like Mad Woman in the Attic with Jane Eyre and Taylor Swift's songs, so I've absolutely loved that so far, and I can't wait to take more classes in the area.
All right, so thank you for coming. We will take photos after Dr. Brennan speaks.
Yeah, we want to do a group shot.
We would
of
we
all
would love to
the-
do a bunch of photos
Yeah.
if possible, so please stick around afterwards. Please feel free to take a lot of food. We have plenty. It's free, just take it. Food's good. But first, let's hear from Dr. Brennan. Niall Brennan has a BA in Art History from the University of California, Santa Cruz, a Master's in Media Studies from the New School in New York City, and a PhD from the London School of Economics and Political Science in London, the United Kingdom. Niall is Irish-born, Dublin, mind you, and Western U.S. raised in Fort Collins, Colorado. Niall researches and writes about gender and sexuality in popular culture and has published widely about drag and RuPaul's Drag Race. Niall's enjoyments beyond the classroom and books are languages, novels, photography, dogs, and cooking.